I got some time, so let's make a little video here. Don't know how long don't know how long I'm gonna make it, but well, let's do it. All right. Um, Today I want to talk about some things that I just don't understand. I want to talk about masculinity and femininity and how it changes in society. Um, I have a very different outlook on life and what it is and what it isn't, and how people perceive things to be. Um, I don't understand why, when you have a unique style or you dress different or you are different, people want to be like, oh, you can't do that because of this, it's not normal, it's blah, 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 whatever like that. Because I got kind of a Western, kind of slightly kind of grunge, sort of maybe gothic style a little bit. It's kind of all mixed together, sort of. And people always tell me, as a black man, you're not supposed to do that. I'm like, what do you mean I'm not supposed to do that? Like, what are you trying to say? Like, they won't come off as strong as saying I'm not supposed to, but it'll be like, you're a black man, you're supposed to dress like this, you're supposed to act like this, you're supposed to carry yourself a certain way. I'm like, I don't understand. Like, what does that got to do with reality? That has nothing to do with reality, because that's just an opinion, and just because it's an opinion, that don't make it right. You know, everyone has an opinion, but that don't mean it's right. You know what I mean? They go, oh, well, this is like this. I said, no, that's what you think. You know, I don't know. I don't understand that. But I'm getting to the topic, but I'm just trying to build a building block here. Um, you know, at one point, back in the, what was it, 14, 15, 1600, something like that, uh, men wore heels, they wore tights, and they wore wigs, and they would wear bows in their hair, right? They would actually wear bows in their hair, and that was considered masculine, right? If you wear a bow in your hair now, they think you're feminine. They think you're, well, I don't want to go too far into certain words or topics, because you know how YouTube likes to get. They like to get all touchy, feely. You know, they usually think a man is homosexual. Let's put it that way. They think a man is homosexual if he does certain things like that. Um, I'm basically coming to the defense of one of my buddies. He's a cross dresser, cool guy. I mean, I don't think nothing, like, I don't judge him. He does what he got to do. He's heterosexual, but because of the society that we live in, if he wants to put on a dress, everybody's like, you can't do that. You're a man. You're not supposed to do that. I'm like, well, technically there were men in different cultures that wear skirts that are known as called kilts. So these kilts were like protective garments, and they were seen as masculine. So I don't know why, if a person has a certain way about them, why does it have to be seen as, automatically rejected, or shunned? I never figured that out, I don't. Oh, sorry, I was looking. Okay, that must be the guy picking up the Toyota parts. Then that must have been the load I just dropped. Sorry, I got off topic. I'm at work. We're waiting on a truck to come. He's gonna basically transload the load that I just dropped, so I can take the empty back to the port and make some more money. Anyways, that's not important. I'm sorry, I got off topic. Yeah, but there's, like, there's different social norms. Like I was talking about, the bows and the hair and stuff like that. Like my buddy, he's if he wants to wear a dress or a skirt, whatever, everybody's like, you can't do that. I'm like, why? Why can't he do that? They're like, because it's not manly. It's not manly. Okay. Why is it not manly? Because he wants to act like a woman. Okay. How is that hurting you? Well, it's not hurting me. It's just disturbing. Okay. Well, maybe that's just your opinion. Maybe in his mind, that's how he is able to deal with his sexuality. Maybe that's how he can deal with his sexuality. I don't know. I don't judge. You do what you got to do. I don't know. Uh, I just don't understand. Like, it's like, uh-oh, who's that? Oh, it's Crowley. How you doing, Crowley? What up, Crowley? Oh, I got some food for you, Crowley. Come here. It's my pet crow. He comes by every day. Crowley, I got something for you, buddy. Sorry, let me pause this. Sorry about that. Sorry, I had to tend to my children. People have cats and dogs. I got birds. They actually come to my defense. If somebody were to attack me, birds would literally start flying in their faces. Like, I'm serious. I was like, a guy was getting all adamant. And where I used to park my truck at, he started yelling and screaming and stuff. I kid you not, like 5 crows started coming and started landing on his car and was like cawing at him. And he was like, I said, yeah, that's my children. You don't want to mess with them. He goes, he started freaking out. He drove off like, whoa. I'm sorry, I got off topic. I don't know. Crows are actually very smart. If you start feeding them, they'll start bringing you stuff, and they'll start, being around you, and they'll try to protect you because they see you as one of their own. Anyways, that's I got off topic. But yeah, if this so-called my buddy, if he wants to wear a dress, why is that a problem? Why? If a woman dresses like a man, she's considered a tomboy, and everybody's okay. That's fine. Why? Why is that the case? How come if a man does something that is slightly feminine, his manhood is automatically attacked? But when a woman does something that's more masculine, it's looked at as, oh, no, that's okay. I'm like, That's where we need to start right there. We need to stop this stigma about what is right and what is wrong. Now, I got into a whole debate. Well, not a debate, but I got into a discussion because I'm in the religious community. I have a personal relationship with God. A lot of people say that God ain't real, but that's another story for another time, because I literally can prove to anyone, I don't care who you are, I can prove to you that God is real. The only problem is, it's this up here, your mind. It's like wanting to go to therapy. If you go to therapy and you already got it in your mind, I'm not going to listen to anything this therapist says, why go? You're not going to improve yourself. You're not going to believe anything the therapist says. And that's basically how God and a religion is. If you go in with a closed mind, you're not going to learn anything, because a lot of people go in. They go into religion, or any ideals of religion. They go into it like, well, they go into it like, if God is real, let him show himself in front of me. I'm like, God's not going to do that. And they'd be like, why? Why? If he's so real, I said, I'm going to tell you why he won't do that. He wants you to genuinely seek him. I mean, that's just like you saying you want a job, but you won't go out there and get one. God works the same way. God does not force himself onto you. He does not say, you have to believe in me, because that would take away our free will that he has given us. I mean, what is free will? Free will is the ability to do what you think is right. That's my definition of what free will is. You may disagree, but I mean, I think that's the most simplest, cut and dry definition. I believe the definition of free will is the ability to do what you think is right. That's free will. Now, whether it's right or wrong, that's the question. That's the whole nother question, whether it's right or wrong. You can do what you think is right, but that don't mean it's right. A guy can go out here and, well, I can't say it on YouTube. A guy can go out here and do some heinous acts to some other people, right? Or a woman can go out here and do heinous acts to other people. Doesn't matter the gender, but they can do, heinous things to someone. They can, in their head, they can think that is right. They have the free will to do that. But it may not be right in the state's eyes, or in God's eyes, or in the criminal justice system's eyes, So when this person acts out of anger or out of frustration, and they do something that is unorthodox to the normal human nature and biology of creation or the evolution or however you want to call it, you have to ask yourself, what would cause them to do that? You have someone that brutally ends someone's existence. Okay, I'm trying to keep it G-rated, and you choose your words carefully on YouTube. If you have someone that brutally unalives a person, okay, you have to ask yourself what will cause them to do that. They say, oh, well, they just did it, okay? You don't believe in heaven, hell, God, the devil. You don't believe in any of that. I'm going somewhere with this. I know y'all like, where you going? I'm going somewhere. Just follow me. Stand in line. Follow me. All the women with big butts, y'all can stay in the front of the line. I'm just kidding. Okay, I'm trying to make it less boring. I'm trying to make it entertaining. Okay, funny. Some of you said it's not funny. I said, okay, well, I will make it funny. Anyways, no, I'm joking. You don't believe in God. You don't believe in the devil. You don't believe in good. You don't believe in evil. I would say, okay, what do you believe in, or what do you have that is a moral compass? You have to start to ask yourself, do people actually have a moral compass? If they have a moral compass, what is that and where do they go? You know? I'm going somewhere, I promise. What happens is people's moral compass gets diluted, and what happens is when you have a person that's unique, their unique self, their brain goes into a mode where it's like attack, 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 attack. This person's different. We need to stop that. We need to change them because they're wrong. They're wrong for thinking like that. So, okay. That becomes a social stigma, a social attack. So, you know what people do? They reject what they don't understand. So, therefore, men like me, mostly men, I mean, women, they don't get as rejected as much as men. I don't care what you say, but it's never going to be that way. But you get men like me that are rejected and they are unwanted by the opposite sex. What ends up happening is this. They reject these men for little of no reason. No reason at all. I can't remember the story, but it's on World Star Hip Hop. It was circulating the internet. There was this young woman who basically targeted this young man because he looked creepy. She made up all these stories that he kidnapped her and forced himself upon her sexually, and basically none of this ever happened, but she said it happened simply because the way he looked. All that was because of the way he looked. I'm like, wow. And there are women out here like that do stuff like that. Why? It's because their moral compass is broken. They have no belief in any form of authority or higher power. They don't believe in God. They don't believe in the devil. They don't believe in right and wrong. They just say, I'm going to do this because I think it's right. That right there is what free will is. That's what free will is. She thought in her brain, no matter how demented it was, she thought in her brain, if I attack this guy and get him put in prison for absolutely no reason, I feel like that's justified because I feel like this guy's a creep and he needs to be off the street. They got women like that. Like, women have literally tried to ruin my life, which they were close to ruining my life multiple times. They were trying to ruin my life simply because they didn't like me. They rejected me because they didn't understand me. Instead of actually saying, hey, what's wrong with this guy? Let's find out what's going on with this guy. They didn't want to do that. They just wanted to banish me to the darkest depths of whatever, you know. But that is how life is. Oh, there he goes. Yeah, there he goes. Hang on one sec. I might have to talk to him. Hang on. All right, sorry about that. No, he was good. I was going to tell him where the office was. Anyways. So they have no moral compass, so therefore they have no and a lot of times these women have no father figure, if you ask them. No father figure. What's your father in your life? Simple question. You ask a woman first if you see, okay, if you're a guy like me, you have nothing to lose as far as social status, and and your relationship with women. If you have nothing to lose, go ahead and ask a woman this. Like, okay, miss, excuse me, what is your body count? And wait for an answer. Whatever the answer is, you just nod your head. Like if she says, "What the blank is wrong with you?" Just nod your head, says. And no matter what she says, she could say 1, 2, 500, 3,000, none of your business, F you, whatever she says, just nod your head, say. Oh, hang on. Hang on a second. I'm sorry. I might have to help this guy. He might not know where to go. Darn it. I'm trying to make a video. I can't. Okay. Part of being a truck driver is you have to do a lot of paperwork. You have to do a lot of directing. You have to keep up with loads. How many pallets, where it's going, who's picking up the load, blah, blah, blah. It's a lot of people say, oh, driving a truck is easy. No, it's not. It's not. It's as much paperwork as it is driving. And a lot of physical work too, if you get into it. But anyways, I digress. I lost my train of thought too. People, crap, darn it, I forgot what I was talking about. Dang it, man. I was on a good point too, and I forgot it. Dang it, man. These people keep messing me up. Crap. Dang it, man. What was I talking about? Crap. But anyways, I'm just gonna keep talking. There's a lot of people. Well, yeah, that woman, she thought that, she thought putting that guy in prison for no reason was a good thing. She thought, you need to get this guy off the road. Get this guy off the, get off the street. She has every right to think that. But that needs to be put in check. Oh, I know what I was talking about. I had to jog my memory. You ask a woman what her body count is, and whatever the answer is, you just nod your head. Then the next question is, you ask her this. Was your father in your life? And they're going to look at you all funny. At that point, they might walk away. But if they're still entertaining your questions, you say, your final question is, did he love you? And if she says, yes, he loved you, yes, you're like, yes, my father did love me. You say this. Then why are you acting like this? And I guarantee you, I bet you $10 she won't have an answer for you. She'll be like, what do you mean why I'm acting like this? Why are you dating convicts? Why are you dating bad boys that don't have a job? Why are you dating these drug addicts? Why are you dating these drug dealers? Why are you dating these guys that's got 10, 20 kids? Why are you dating these guys? Why? Why are you doing this? Why are you destroying your life? What would your father and your mother say to you? At one point when people actually had morals and values, my mother told me this. My mother told me it was a disgrace for a woman or young girl to get pregnant during school or during her adolescent school years. Like 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. Well, if you still in school at 19. Anyways, if you, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, like that. It was a disgrace for you to have a kid before marriage. It was like totally unheard of in my mother's time. Now, that's common practice. You know what? I think I figured it out. I could be wrong, but I think I figured it out. I understand now. I think I really understand why good guys finish last. I really think so. I think I know. Now, this is going to sound totally crazy, but just listen to me. I think, now this is just me thinking, hypothetically, I think the government is trying to depopulize the human race. They're trying to shorten and condense and basically, constrict. They're trying to constrict the human population of how many kids are being born. I really think they need to do. Really think that that's what they're trying to do. Wait, what is it? Hold on, give me 1 second. Hold on, y'all. Duty calls. I gotta figure out what this guy's doing. He's supposed to pick up my load. Hang on a second. Gosh, these people are so stupid. All right. Okay, I'm back. Oh my God. People stressing me out for no reason. Why you can't follow instructions? Door number 2. Load number 00743. Why is that so hard for you to understand? Gosh, man. Sorry. I'm sorry. All right. Okay. Um. Great. Now Charlie's looking for him. Anyways, um, you ask him, does your father and mother love you? And if they can't answer these questions, you're just gonna have to just understand that dating is pretty much over with. And I think the government is trying to constrict, and they're trying to constrict the population, because the guys that are actually decent men that are actually going to raise families, they're doing away with these guys. Guys like me and a lot of my buddies, these are the types of men that would cherish and love a woman, and be that ideal father figure. But we're not the catch of the litter, so therefore dating is pretty much over for guys like me and you. So sometimes guys can slip through the cracks. But I really think the government is literally trying to destroy the family unit, you know, especially the family of color. Like, I'm not even trying to go into that. That's a whole nother video right there. Trying to destroy the black families. And I'm not trying to make this a black or white thing, but if you look at the statistics don't lie. Most of the women that are unmarried and have the highest number of children out of wedlock are black women, African American women. And people ask me why I don't date black women. I don't hate them, but I have to swim through so much muck and destruction that I can't even begin to fathom where to start swimming at. Their cesspool of destruction is so great. I can't even begin to think to waddle in their destructive nature. Now, I'm not saying like I have anything against black women, because my mother was black. I mean, is black. She's still alive. But you know what? Me and my mother had a conversation. Speaking of that, me and my mother had a conversation not too long ago. It was very, very, very interesting conversation. Mother dearest, I love my mother. I really, man, if I could find a woman, I don't care what race she is, if I could find a woman that had the personality of my mother, I would be satisfied. My mother understands the truth. I said, Mom. She said, yeah, what's up? I said, can you answer a question for me? She goes, sure, what's that? I was like, what's wrong with the women nowadays? She openly laughed. She just kind of laughed a little bit, maybe for a couple seconds, and then she said, well, son, to be honest with you, I have no idea. And we both laughed together. I was like, wow. I said, no, seriously though, like, what's wrong with them? She goes, like, this, my mom is silly too. She was like, I was like, yes. I was like, okay, that's saying a lot. She goes, yeah. And my mom is what? My mom is 71, so she's been around the block a few times. She looks really good for her age. Like, I'm talking about, me and my mom sometimes go out in public. They be like, is that your girl? I'm like, no, that's my mom. They be like, oh, I'm serious, man. Before I got a car, my mom used to take me out to work sometime. Dude was like, man, you lucky, bro. I was like, what you mean? Yo, lady fine. I said, oh, lady, that's my mom. He was like, that's your mom's, bro? He said, damn, bro. Wow, bro. I said, yeah, that's my mom. He was like, oh, I didn't know that was your mom's, bro. My bad. I said, no, you good. She look good for her age. Yeah, bro. Wow, bro. Dang. Is she single? I said, yeah, bro. She married. He's like, oh, okay. So, yeah. Anyways, I'm sorry. But anyways, so I was asking my mom, like, what's wrong, She was like, I don't know. Like that, So, I don't know. It's just crazy, I don't know. It's insanity. Um, so she was, so me and her talked, and I said, Mom, I said, would you be mad if I didn't get married? She goes, mm-mm. I said, really? She said, mm-mm. She said, I wanted grandkids, but I mean, I'd rather you stay single than to have than for me to have grandkids and you taking care of them yourself. I said, yeah, I agree. So that's how that conversation went. I know you're saying, well, where are you going with this? Because you're not really, you kind of dancing around. I'm sorry, I'm rambling, but I'm actually I'm actually going around a nuclear point, but it's just kind of different. I'm hitting at different points here. I know you're saying I'm going into social dynamics between male and female. Okay, I'm saying all this to say this: the social dynamics of male and females is quite different. If you have a man that's he acts a little feminine, or he does something that's feminine, all of a sudden he is considered homosexual or whatever like that. You got a woman that may do something a little masculine, that's looked at as okay. We need to stop doing that. We need to start saying, hey, look, if a person wants to act a certain way, whatever, it doesn't matter. That does not determine their sexual orientation. We're going to continue and we're going to move on from that point. We're not, if they're not hurting themselves and they're not hurting anyone else, there is no problem here. And then we need to move on from that stigma of we need to, trying to, blame, shame, and do stuff like that, So, yeah, I really think that we should stop doing it, I really think so. I really think we should stop doing it. Yeah. Because how are we going to move forward as a species? Now, not just as white, black, Asian, Hispanic, whatever, European. How are we going to move forward as a species if we can't get our own selves together? How many of you talk to all of your neighbors, or most of your neighbors that live in the same vicinity as you? How many of you talk to your neighbors? I don't mean texting them. I'm talking about physically talk to them. And I don't mean, hey, how you doing? I'm talking about, how have you been? How is your mother? How is your father? How, if their mother and father's deceased, how are your kids? How are your whatever? Your dog, your cat? How are your birds? How are your ants? Whatever. How are you doing? How many people do that nowadays? We live in an isolated world where you can point and laugh at somebody and get satisfaction of joking on someone, putting them down by saying, hey, at least my life isn't that bad. But when you do that, does that really make you feel better? Does that really make you feel better? Does it really make you feel better? I mean, I want you to think about this deeply. Are you contributing to the problem? That's what I want. I'm being nice, but I'm. Are you contributing to the problem? Are you? You see that, that weird guy that lives in your neighborhood that you never talk to, and you say that guy's a creep. I don't want to talk to him. Do you ever go up to that guy and say, hey man, what's up? How you doing? You ever do that? I didn't think so. Or if you do, I'm glad you do. If you are one of these people who says, hey, I'm not going to talk to this person because they're weird, you need to stop doing that. Because that person could help you out in your life when you need it most. Mm-hmm. You never know what a person's going through. You know? Never. You never know what a person's going through. A lot of people look at me and say, there must be something wrong with you because you can't get a girl or you don't have a girlfriend. Like, what's wrong with you? I'm like, what do you mean what's wrong with me? It's not me, it's the women. Oh, you got to be a man. You got to man up. You got to stop trying to blame everything on women. I'm not blaming everything on women. I'm blaming the stuff that the problems that they're causing. I'm blaming it on them. The reason why nice guys finish last is 110% women's fault. It is, and I can prove it. You know why? What are the types of men that women go for? Most women go for bad boys, convicted felons, drug dealers, drunkards, abusive men, men with a lot of kids. These are just some of the few that I've noticed. The reason why I noticed this is because women that were literally perfect matches for me, there was nothing wrong. Nothing wrong. Our energy, our chemistry was perfection. We was like a Hallmark love story. But because I was too weird, or I was too short, or she didn't like the way I dressed, or she didn't like this about me, or why do you drive such an old vehicle, or why don't you do this, why don't you do that, blah 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 blah, trying to change the way I feel comfortable. You want me to come out of my comfort zone to make you feel better. That is not what love is. If you want a person to come out of their comfort zone to please you, that is not love. I'll say it again. Maybe you missed it. If you, male or female, mainly women do this, but if you, male or female, you want to take your spouse or your significant other out of their comfort zone to please you, that is not love. At that point, it's just a transaction. You might as well just not even get married. You might as well just be roommates at that point. Seriously, because I mean, it's just that bad, you know? But yet, I'm wrong because I don't have a wife and kids, so I'm considered well, I can't say that word. I'm considered a misfit. I'm going to just use misfit instead of the other word that probably got me banned. I don't know if I can spell it INCLE. I don't think I can say that word, but yeah, I'm not sure. Yeah. It's funny how a word can literally get you banned. I don't understand how this what has our society come to. It happened mainly because the owner of YouTube is a woman. So of course she's going to dismiss any and shut down any speech that is considered hate speech by her. Like I said, everyone has an opinion. That doesn't mean it's right. I'm speaking the truth. I don't care which way you look at it, but I'm speaking the truth. That is why, another reason why I call myself Papa Strange. Because I'm strange, but I feel like a father figure to a lot of these people, because a lot of these people grew up that didn't have father figures. And I'm not trying to bash people that didn't have fathers. What I'm trying to say is, you're a victim of your environment. If you didn't have a father and you're a bad person, I can understand that. However, you cannot stay in that area. You know, there was a message at church last Sunday. Excellent message by Pastor Eric. Pastor Eric, I shake your hand, brother. That was an awesome message. He said, in life, now listen to you. This is not my words. This is Pastor Eric's words, man. This dude, awesome guy. He said, in life, it is okay to fail. However, it is not okay to let yourself fail. And he basically broke it down to say this. If you know something is failing, don't just let it happen. Try to prevent it from happening. Example, you driving down the highway with no seatbelt on. You're taking a risk. You can eject out of the seat. You can whatever. They had a case recently of a young boy, 18 years old, got projected out of a car. It was a sunroof. He wasn't wearing a seatbelt. Got projected out of the car. Died on impact. Now because of YouTube and their little policies and stuff, I'm not gonna describe how they found his body. When they found him, it was bad. They did it. The police report. They didn't hold back. They said exactly what happened. I was like, wow. Let's just say this. No, I can't say it like that because it's gonna be like I'm joking on him. I'm not joking on him. I'm not even gonna say it because it's gonna be too touchy. I'm not gonna say it because someone died and he died in a horrific way. That's all you need to know. If you want to look it up, look it up. Look up, I think it's 17 or 18-year-old teen. I forgot his name. Gets ejected from car and dies on impact. Just look that up. He wasn't driving. No, he was in the back seat. Maybe he was wondering. He wasn't driving. He was in the back seat. And his buddy was driving at a high rate of speed. And they spun out, lost control, and went flipping. And when they flipped, he went, boom. He went flying right out of the back of the car. Car went airborne for a brief moment and flipped. When it flipped, It shot him right out of the car, and the rest you can read on your own. Because I want to basically tell you what happened, but I'm not going there. But yeah, I mean it's emotional. Like, I'm not like about to cry, but it's emotional that when you think deeply about that, what I just told you, that's heartbreaking. Dude was only 18 years old. Only 18. Only 18 years old. He didn't even live the rest of his life. But because he made one fatal mistake, cost him his life. Now, I think I made this video long enough. I'm going to be wrapping up here shortly. I got a few more points, so I'm going to be wrapping up. Now, I got some assignments and some homework for you people. And I'm not talking about the ones that's not doing this. I'm talking about the ones that specifically you avoid people simply because, oh, they're creepy. Oh, they look funny. I don't want to talk to them because of this. You got to stop doing that. And I'm not saying that you should. I'm saying that you have to stop doing that. Because I'm going to tell you why you need to stop doing that. Because one day you're going to need help, and it's going to be somebody that you think is a creep that's going to come up to you and help you, and you're not going to know what to do. You need to be open to trusting, and not trusting people wholeheartedly, but you need to be open to getting to know people. I mean, if you think the person's a crazy psycho unaliver, I'm trying to keep it from saying too many different words. If you think this person is going to unalive you, you actually need to know more about this person. You avoiding them is probably one of the worst mistakes you can make. You need to find out what their first, middle, and last name is, where they live at, what their dog and their cat and their mom, dad, whoever's name is. Because if they actually do something, guess what? You can notify the authorities. Hey, Mr. John Doe, John Willie Doe. I'm going to use that as just an example. Mr. John Willie Doe, he just unalived my next door neighbor. Come get him. They're going to come get him. But if you say, the creepy guy that lives at the corner, he just unalived somebody, they'll say, creepy guy that lives at the corner? Like, what? Like, who is that? I don't know who that is. You got to be more specific. What's his name? I don't know. I always avoided him. There you go. Guess what's going to happen? They're going to have to be snooping around trying to find out who it is. You could have gave him direct, information. And guess what? He gonna come up to your door like this. He gonna knock on that front door. And no, I can't do that. I can't. Man, it's a meme I want to say. I want to say this meme so bad, but it might be copyrighted. It's a comedian guy. He was playing like he was I don't know if I can say that, a drug head. Okay, a drug head. A specific drug head. I want to say that because I don't know if I can say the words. He was acting like a drug head, and he said, you need your lawn mowed. He was like, no. He said, I already got somebody to mow my lawn. He said, you look like you need your lawn mowed. He said, no, I don't need my lawn mowed. I'm good. You sure? He said, yeah, I'm sure. He said, man, what you doing with that crowbar? He said, this? Oh, that's used to start my lawnmower. He said, man, get off my property. He said, man, I'm gonna get what I want. He said, I'm coming in there. I'm gonna get what I want. Oh my God. He said, I'm gonna get what I want. I'm coming in there. I kind of paraphrase it, but that's pretty. It's funny when you watch the video because it's hilarious. But you might have seen that video I'm talking about. But you can't stop. Like, if a person is wanting to do something, knowing as much as you can about that person is going to be very vital to your survival. You know why? Because there's an old saying that says, keep your friends close and keep your enemies closer. There you go. I'm trying to tell you. I'm going to leave this last little result for you. I'm going to leave this last little story for you. As proof that you need to stop, having these social dynamics. Like, if a person's like this, they're supposed to be like this. If he's male, he's supposed to do this. If she's female, she's supposed to do that. Leave that alone, okay? Leave it alone. Leave it alone. Because I've met some really nice tomboys, like women that dress straight up like a dude, shave the head and everything. Beautiful women. Beautiful personality. Man, they would love you so hard, you'd be like, wow, that's crazy. I'm telling you, I've met a lot of people, and I met, I got gay friends. Well, I don't know if I can say that word. I got friends in the LGBTQ. I I got trans friends, I got homosexual friends, I got lesbian friends, I got bisexual friends, I got friends that are demisexuals. I don't know, I really don't know what that is, but they just say they are. So I'm like, okay, cool. I got friends that are all over the spectrum. I got, because I have mild autism myself. I try to work on articulating and speaking uh, clearly, and trying to think about my words before I speak them, so I won't stutter and talk all crazy. And I have to formulate my sentences in my mind before they come out my mouth, so you can understand what I'm saying. Because socially, I'm just a little different, but hey, I'm good. I'm working on it. Okay. But yeah, I got friends all over the spectrum, all over the rainbow, all over the whatchamacallit. Okay. Matter of fact, one of my trans friends, I'm just like, I can't argue what she did, but it's like, man, she was so beautiful. I mean, I had the biggest crush on this chick, man. I mean, oh my gosh, I wanted to be with this girl so bad. And then we were good friends, and she would just kept turning me down, turning me down. I thought she just didn't like black dudes, right? I didn't know what was going on. Found out she was gonna change herself into a guy, and I was like, oh, wow. And she was like, do you still want to be my friend? I was like, that's between you and God. That's between you and your body. I ain't got nothing to do with that. We can still be friends. I mean, I don't think of you as a different person or whatever. I mean, hey, we still, you know. I told her, I said, I didn't be your friend because just simply because your gender. I didn't be your friend just because of that. I was your friend because we hit it off really well. And I don't know. I don't want to put her name out there. I don't his name out there. Now he's a male. I don't want to put your name out there, but if you ever if you ever stumble across this video, brother, I love you still, brother. Yep. I just love you a different way now. I mean, I'm not attracted to you no more because you're a guy, but I love your personality, brother. You know, we cool. You know what I mean? But yeah, I don't know. I just I had to look inward in myself because I don't understand why a person want to change gender. I don't really understand. I mean, to me, I'm just like, why go through all that trouble when you can just stay the gender you are? But I don't know. I don't know. I'm not that way. I don't understand it. But it's not my place to understand it. It's my place to allow myself to understand these people and still be able to communicate and articulate with these people. You know, people that are of that genre. I didn't judge them wrongly. I said, okay, this is what they want to do. Hey, we can still be cool. That was one little tidbit story. The other one is that um, it was one night that was storming outside. It was raining, and there was a young lady. Well, actually, she was middle aged, and her sister was a little older. They were on the side of the road, and the lady's battery died in her van. Nobody stopped. They were just driving past, just driving past, just driving past, driving past, driving past. These are these two white ladies, and I could understand why the younger one felt a little standoffish. I mean, you know, because um, I'm trying to say this without sounding like a pervert, but sure. You know, a lot of black men like, they're like junk in the trunk. Okay, I myself, I like a woman with a nice butt. Okay, I really like that. That turns me on. Okay, and the younger one, she was kind of curvy and she had the pear shape sort of, going on. So um, I kind of walked up, and I was in the truck. I was in my semi truck, and I pull up, and they're acting standoffish. I mean, it's okay. I don't care. I'm a total stranger. They don't know what I'm gonna do. I'm like, hey, what y'all doing? Y'all okay? And the older one don't say nothing. The younger one, she's like, we're fine. We got it. I said, you got it? I said, well, y'all out here in the rain. I said, what's going on? And then she's all like trying to treat me like, hey, you're a creep, stand back type deal, right? Now, I could have been like, okay, she got it. And I could have just left her alone. And they would have still been out there trying to figure out that the battery cables was backwards. They didn't know that, but I knew that. I came over there. When I looked, I was like, and then the chick was like, I was like, well, y'all might need some help. The older one was like, we got it. I was like, no, you don't. And she looked at me. I said, you ain't got it. I said, because you got the wrong cables on the wrong. You got you got the positive on the negative and the negative on the positive. That's not gonna work. You're gonna blow that battery up. You gotta take that off. She's like, what? You gotta take that off. She said, and she tried touching it. It was hot. I said, get out of the way. She said, but I got it. I said, stand back. I got it. I put my welding gloves on. I took the cables off. And those suckers was about to melt. I said, I got you. I said, I looked at the cables and said, you might not be able to use these again. I had a spare pair of jumper cables. And then the older chick, the younger chick was about to say something. No. I'm sorry. The older chick was about to say some slick stuff. I could see it because she was like, you know how, I don't know if y'all have paid attention to a lot of like how women like they get to shifting around, and then they open their mouth and they get the finger waving, and they're gonna tell you about themselves or tell you about yourself, right? I saw her at my peripheral, and then the younger one, she put her hand up like, no, don't say nothing, be quiet, let him do what he got to do, right? So, I said, all right, hold on, this ain't gonna work. So I try to hook the jumper cables up, and I hook them up the right way, and the other lady, she had her car, and she was trying to charge it, but the van just wouldn't turn over. I said, you know what, you might have fried this battery. It might just be fried. It just might just be gone. So I got my battery tester out, and she had it, had it up there, and she was, revving the engine and stuff. That sucker had like 5 charge. It was done. I said, yeah, this battery is not, it was actually going down. It was like 4. It would fluctuate between 5, 4, 5, 4. And I was like, yeah, it's not, no. So I left it up there for a minute to see. I said, well, maybe it's going to do something. It stayed right at 5. It went up to 6 a little bit, then it went back down to 5. Then for the longest time, it just stayed at 5. I said, this battery's done. I said, it's done. I said, when you had the wrong cables, you just fried it. Because she was saying she was having issues with her battery, and she knew she needed a new one. I said, yeah, when you put the cables up there wrong, you just killed the battery. It was on its last leg, and you just chopped that last leg off. And then the younger one she kind of chuckled a little bit. She kind of adjusted her glasses, and she was giving me the eyes like I'm glad you stopped to help us, but she didn't say nothing, right? And I said, well, I got this spare jumper cables, y'all can have them or whatever. She was like, well, no, it's you can take it back. I said, no, you can have them. It's no problem. And then the older sister was like, well, thank you for your help, but we'll just call a tow truck. I was like, you gonna call a tow truck at? Actually, I did have a watch on at the time. I said, you're gonna call a tow truck at this hour? I said the race is gonna kill y'all. You know that, right? She was like, really? I said, yeah. I said, where y'all going? And she said, well, we're going to try to make it up here to the truck stop. I said, oh, well, that's where I'm going. I've got to get fuel. She goes, really? I said, yeah, it's right around the corner. You know where it's at, right? She goes, yeah. I said, I'll tell you what. I'll tow you your van to the truck stop. She said, really? I said, yeah, let me go grab this trailer. I'll be right back. So I leave, go to the truck stop. I tell the people inside, say, look, I got to go help some people. So I got to help some ladies on the side of the road here. I'm going to drop my trailer in lot 4 or whatever, blah, 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 whatever. I'll be right back. It's okay, cool. Bobtailed back over to where the ladies were. They were still standing there. Matter of fact, no, they weren't. They were inside her car, I guess, getting heat because it was starting to get cold out there because it was raining. And it wasn't like pouring down rain. It was like a steady, like, drizzle rain. And it was to the point where it was like, it was just muggy, And anyways, make a long story short, so, they was acting like, hey, they the whole time I was there, they was acting like they didn't want me there. And I was like, I'm going to help you. I don't care if you don't want my help. I'm going to help you anyways because you need it, And so they was all like, well, you really don't have to do that. We can call a tow truck. I said, no, I'm going to tow your van. So I try to hook the chains up. The truck is sitting up so high. The back end of the truck is sitting up so high. Yeah. Her back end was sitting on high, boy. She thick, boy. Yeah. I'm just kidding. No, I'm playing. I'm trying. Just in case y'all falling asleep, I was trying to wake you up. Anyways, I'm sorry. All right. Okay, I'll stop. No, but the depth of the truck and the lowness of the van was just like, it was just too much to the point where if I tried to pull it, it would probably lift the back. It would probably lift the front end of the van up and damage the front end, the undercarriage of the van. So I was like, I'm not going to do that. So what I did was I said, okay, I'm not going to be able to tow it. However, I can get my truck behind you and I can push you. She was like, you can push me? I said, put it in neutral and I'll push you. It's going to be super easy. Don't worry about it. I got you. So what I did, I said, you got any towels? She was like, towels? I said, you got any towels? She said, why? I said, because I'm going to push it. It's going to be bumper to bumper contact, and I do not want to scrape your van. She goes, oh, I ain't worried about it. I said, well, I am. So I got me some towels and some rags, and I told her open the trunk. She opened the trunk, or the back hatch on the van, and I let them like drape over the back bumper. I draped it over the back bumper all the way across, right, and closed the door. So I got my truck ready. I put it in like granny gear, and I just let the clutch up, and it just pushed the van like it was nothing. I mean, the van almost took a launch. I mean, because this truck is used to hauling like 50,000 pounds. A van weighing like 5,000 pounds. It's like I literally didn't feel anything in front of me. Like I literally felt like I had nothing in front of me. Like I just let the clutch up, and it just, I let it up as easy as I could. But any of you that don't drive a truck, the movements on a big semi truck are very jerky. The movements are very jerky because they're not very precise like a car, because it's so much torque and power. It's like, my truck is like that because it's an older truck, but it's like it's very torquey and very powerful. It's like when you see an excavator, you see it moving, it's going like this, and it's like like that, and it's just kind of jerky. Like it's because all that power is being directed and it's instantaneous. So the newer trucks are a little more, they're a little more fluid. But by my truck being, older, it was, more aggressive with the. Anyways, so I was pushing the van, and I managed to push her, and I basically, got, I was able to get the other one on the phone, the younger one. I said, let me get your number. She looked at me. I said, well, I just need to be able to communicate. And she didn't want to give me her number. I said, well, I need to be able to communicate with you. Like if something's going wrong, I need to be able to tell you, hey, you need to steer this way or steer that way. And she just kept looking at me like that. So the older one was like, look, just give me your number. It's nothing crazy. And I could feel like the look on her face, like she wanted to say it like I'm kind of creepy, but she didn't want to say nothing. So she was like, okay. So she gave me her number. I said, okay, cool. So, right. I said, all right. So, like when we started getting up, I said, all right, now turn to the left. She started turning to the left. So turn to the left. It's hard. I said, turn to the left. You have to. I know it's no power steering, but you have to turn as hard as you can. So she started turning, and she wasn't turning fast enough. So I had to stop. I said, all right, now hit the brake. Hit the brake. She hit the brake. I said, okay. What I'm going to do, I'm going to back the truck up, and I'm going to put the nose of the truck on the side of your van, and I'm going to basically kind of do like a pit maneuver and push you over. She's like, you sure you can do it? I said, this truck can haul 40,000 pounds. Literally, it can do wonders with that van. She's okay. Got on the side, I just let the clutch up easy, and it literally just pushed the whole van, slid the whole van over like that, and I barely even used any force. Like I didn't even have to use accelerator. I was just letting the clutch up, and the clutch was just doing all the work. So then I stopped and told her hit the brake. I backed up, and I got behind her van again and pushed it and just kept pushing it until we got all the way to the shop, and it was over the railroad track. I said, now I'm gonna have to push you over the railroad track. You cannot, and I repeat, cannot hit the brake until after you get past the railroad track, because if you get stuck on there, I gotta push you a little harder, and I don't want to have to damage your van. She was okay. So I got behind her, and I got a little bit of running start, and pushed it a little bit, and I said, all right. She coasted up the railroad track and went down the other side. I said, all right, you're gonna have to start turning now, and you're gonna build a speed, so make sure your foot's on near the brake. She's okay, like that, and she managed to turn the van and got it right in front of the bay door, and she got it right in front of the bay door. I said, awesome. So I'm gonna tell you, I told you all this to say this. Like I was helping them out and everything. I thought everything was great, and people always try to say that guys like me, they try to say that we hate women or we're misogynists, but if I was like that, I wouldn't have spent that much time trying to help them. I wouldn't have done it. There's no way I would have done it. Hang on a sec. My bad. I thought somebody was calling me. No, it was good. If I did, it would have been no way I would have helped them. So yeah. But I'm sorry I talked so long. I just had to get that last little story in there. But hey. Well, let me tell you the ending. She was pretty much like adamant about me deleting her number out of my phone because she didn't want my number in her phone. I'm thinking, I can help you out anytime. Like, what are you talking about? She's like, no, it's okay. We're okay. Like that. I was like, okay. So I you know, right in front of her. I deleted her number out of my phone and whatnot. So I was like, well, I didn't even have her number in there, but I deleted the call history or whatever. And she was that adamant about it. I don't know what was her problem, but you know, her sister, her older sister, at that point, because she was the one that had attitude at first. She turned around. She said, "You know what? Thank you so much." She said, "You know what? We're gonna compensate you for your time." I said, "No, you ain't gotta do that." She said, "No, we're gonna compensate you for your time." The younger one looked at her like, "What?" They both walked in the truck stop. I mean, hair drenched. I mean, because you know it was raining still, it was slight drizzle. Uh, they went up to the ATM. They gave me $20 each. I said, "Wow." I said, "You gotta do that." So I ended up $40 just for helping them on the side of the road. I said, "Wow, that's interesting." I said, "That's crazy." So, see there, that one that you think is so creepy might be that one to save your life or save your situation. You know. But hey, I want y'all to start speaking to everyone you see. I don't care if you like them. I don't care if you think they're weird. I need you to start speaking to everybody you see. Just talk to your neighbors. Talk to people that you don't know. Just say, "Hey, how you doing? How you doing? How you doing? How's your life going? What's going on with you?" And with that, I'm about to make this video over because it's been long enough. With that, peace out, y'all.